It all started in 1977. I was only 17 years of age when I was a member of the Congress of South African Students. During those days, as black students in this country, we were fighting against that system of education which was designed by Professor Aislinn and Dr. Henry Verwoerd, those architects of apartheid, to make blacks in this country nothing but servants. But also, let me go back a little bit and tell you about that system of apartheid in brief. Apartheid was a system that divided our people on racial lines. On your very lowest level, you have the blacks, the majority, with no rights whatsoever, followed by the coloreds, the Indians. On top of the land, you have the white people of this country, with every right you could think of. So was the education of this country. It was also divided on racial lines. There was an education department for the blacks, coloreds, Indians, and for white people. Those education departments, they were unequal. I still remember the statistics of 1980. You know, the regime spent only 47 rands for a black student. It spent 74 rands for a colored student, 330 rands for an Indian student. The regime spent up to 2,000 rands for only one white student in this country. And in Parliament, there was an act that was called the Job Reservation Act. That act reserved jobs for white people. You questioned that. You were told that you do not qualify to get the job because of the type of education that you studied, which was the Bantu education. These acts, that is the Bantu Education Act of 1954 and the Job Reservation Act, they work hand in hand in order to oppress and suppress the black people in this country. That's why we were fighting against that system of education. But unfortunately, when we were protesting, demonstrating peacefully against that system of education, the response from the regime, it was always negative because we were tear-gassed, baton charged, we were taken to church and tortured, and some of our comrades were even killed in that process. Some of our students were tortured up until they were bound to be mentally disturbed because of the type of torture they had to endure in detention. Then it was clear to me at an early stage that fighting apartheid using only peaceful method of struggle, it was ineffective. That's why in 1981, when I was 21 years of age, I left this country. Through Swaziland, I was in Mozambique. From Mozambique straight to Angola. That's where I was trained militarily to come and fight apartheid in this country. From Angola back to Zambia. From Zambia to Botswana. I entered this country again from Botswana, Botswana. I was operating in Soweto up until I was arrested in 1984 when I was 24 years of age. You know the procedure in this country. If you are arrested, you are then taken straight to the nearest police station. That's where you will be detained. After that, you have to face your trial. Upon conviction, you are then taken straight to prison. When I was arrested in Soweto in 1984 in Jabula, I was then taken straight to Protean police station in Soweto. That's where I was detained. Under Section 29, the Internal Security Act, where you were detained for not less than 6 months. To me, those 6 months in detention, they were like 100 years because in detention, life was very tough then. In detention, you considered yourself as fortunate if you came out of the place still alive because so many comrades were killed in detention. You may be familiar with the leader of the Black Causes Movement, Steve Biko, who was killed in detention in 1977 for fighting apartheid, and many more other comrades who were killed in detention. In detention, I was severely tortured, both physical and psychologically. Was really tough. You know, I cannot start to begin to tell you the types of torture I was subjected to whilst in detention. That's why to me those 6 months detention, they were like 100 years back. it was even worse with our female comrades. You know, the secret police or the special branch, they did unspeakable things to our female comrades in detention. Things that I can't mention here in front of you today. But that's why I respect and salute all those female comrades who were in the forefront in the battle against apartheid, because some of them, they still suffer even today because of that type of torture that was administered to them whilst in detention. After 6 months, in Protea, police station in Soweto, I was then taken to Deep prison in Johannesburg. My trial, it was in Johannesburg Magistrate Court. It was in court number 15, August 15, when I was sentenced to 7 years imprisonment under what they term as terrorism. On my charge sheet, charges were leaving this country, illegal, entering this country again illegally, being a member of the unlawful organization that is the ANC, the African National Congress, and this military wing of Congo-Wesizwe, and a computer training in Angola, found in possession of arms and ammunition, furthering the aims of our military wing of Congo-Wesizwe. I was then sentenced to that time in prison 7 years. From Deep Kloof prison in Johannesburg, we were then transported by truck. Our hands were handcuffed. We had leg irons, shackles around our ankles to Cape Town. Then from Cape Town, we took the boat to this place. When I first came here in this prison, right from the boat, escorted by those wonders, were taken to that office called the reception office. From that office straight to A section, observation section for 6 months, before I was then transferred to X section, to that cell called runners. I spent the rest of my sentence in that cell called runners, in that section called F. I left this prison in 1991, then when I came here as a guide, only in 2005.